I will be teaching you how to do different fraction problems from finding the common denominator to subtracting to multiplying. So let's start off with finding the lowest common denominator. A denominator is the number at the bottom of the fraction. So in this image it is the 2, and on the right we have the 18 and the 12 and the 10, how the bottom is the denominator. This is the term in the dictionary. A lowest common denominator is the smallest number of all the common multiples of the denominators when 2 or more fractions are given. So let's start off with 2/3 and 3/5. So let's start off with focusing on these bottom two here and forgetting about the top. So if we just have 3 and 5, we need to get them to the next lowest common multiple, so that's 15. So you get 3 times 5 equals 15, and 5 times 3, and then you get 15. And you can also do that with the top, but that's not necessary here, so you just need the lowest common denominator. Yeah, so it's 15 for both of them. Now to the next one, 5/8 and 7/12. So for this, we can use one of these charts, which can be found in the back of your writing book, or you can search up number. Yeah, you can find it on Google for these two. By doing this, we can use this, and we start off. So there's 2 ways to use this. This line is meant to be here, signifying. Forget about this line. So there's 2 ways. So you can, for doing this, you want 8 and 12. So you can go to 8 here and 12 there, and 12 times 8 is 96. Also do it this way. This way is if you want to get to the lowest. So here's 96, where you both have 96, but you can also go to 72, because they both have 72 in them. They both have 48, but the lowest thing is 2 times 12 and 3 times 8. They both get 24, so 24 is your lowest common denominator. But you're doing this by, first, you can do the one on the right, but don't do that. Try doing the first way and see if you can find one lower than that. So the answer is 24 for the lowest common denominator. Next we have adding fractions. Let's start off with 3/4 and 1/3. What could it be? First we need to get the same denominators. So we do, because it's a small number, we don't use the method of the number wall thing. We just go 4 times 3 is 12, so we have 12. So then what we did, so what we're gonna do, because it's 4 times 3 equals 12, so we have to times the whole thing by 3, what I circled, and we'll times the 1/3 all by 4. Then you end up with 9/12 and 4/12. So what I did, I just times everything by this side by 3, that side by 4. So if you add them together, it comes to 13 twelfths and 1/12. That's the first one. Second one, we have 1/6 and 3/8. We'll use this number wall again, and you can see that the lowest possible is 24 again. So it's 6 times 4 and 8 times 3, both 24. What we did, we times 1/6 by 4, the whole thing, and 3/8 by 3, like we did before. So it turns into this. Turns into this here, 4/24 and 9/24. So it equals 13/24 if you add them all together. That's the answer for that one. Next we have subtracting fractions. This is a bit harder maybe. But what you have to do, don't change the denominator without making them even first, like we've been doing all along. Because if you do that, then you'll get the wrong fraction, even if it doesn't make sense. But here we have 4/5 and 3/10. It might look complicated trying to subtract them, but if you do the right method, you get it right. So first we need to get the 5 to 10. So we times 5 by 2. So that means that we have to times the 4 by 2 too. So then we get 8/10. Once we got 8/10, it turns into that. 8/10 subtract 3/10. And that's pretty easy. Forget about the denominators and just do 8 minus 3. That leaves you 5, so you have 5/10, which is also equivalent to 1/2. Next we have 11/12 minus 7/8. What we do 12. Again, you can use a number roll, but if you know it in your head, you know that 12 times 2 is 24 and 8 times 3 is 24. We use 24 a lot. So we need to times them by 2 and 3. So we also need to times 11 times 2 equals 22 and 7 times 3 equals 21. So you come up with this. 22 24ths and 21 24ths. So you minus them and then you get 1/24. 1/24 is the answer. Fractions. So multiplying fractions is very similar, if even easier, than adding and subtracting. It's probably the easiest one out of all of them. So first we have 4/15 and 9/10. All we have to do is times 4 and 9, and we figure that out, and we can put the line there because all we do is times 4 and 9, then 15 and 10. So we put the fractions line. So 4 times 9 is 36, and 15 times 10 is 150. This is our answer. It's very simple. You just have to times the numerators and the denominators. Next, let's try 6/7 and 9/12. As before, all we have to do is times 6. So we do 6 times 9, which we know is 54. And then we do 7 times 12, which is 84. Then we have 54 and 84. That is our answer. It's the most simplest out of all of them. All you need to know is your multiplication, or you can use a calculator. This video off, we will do dividing fractions. Now, dividing fractions can be a member of KCF, keep, change, flip. So if you have the equation, for example, 3/4 divided by 3/5, you keep the 3/4 how it is, you change the division sign to a multiplication sign, and you flip 3/5, that becomes 5/3. Just like that. Then you do that, turn it into that, and then you do the equation. So you do 3/4 times 5/3, which if you go back in the video, you can watch how to times fractions. It equals 15/12, and you can simplify that to 1 3/12. Or 1 1/4. Next, let's do 5/7 and 4/7. Here's a pie chart of it. So KCF, we do keep the 5/7, change the division to a multiplication sign, and flip the 4/7. So then it becomes this. Then we write it out and we do we do the question, and you get 35/28, and you simplify it to get 1 7/28. That wraps up this video. I hope that you learnt something. And here just